I'm Sharyn Alfonsi. Tonight on World News, 1-2 punch. Torrential rains force emergency evacuations in the Midwest. Deadly heat shatters records in the East. How long will this extreme weather last? The Gulf Coast dodging a bullet from the tropical storm, but more delays tonight. The new timetable for sealing that crippled well. Desperate search. 2 U.S. troops now missing in Afghanistan. New details of how they were ambushed at a busy marketplace. And open book, the place 500 million people are now revealing the intimate secrets of their lives.
From ABC News headquarters, this is ABC World News.
Good evening. All eyes were on the Gulf early today and whether a tropical storm would make the disastrous oil spill even worse. But we begin with the weather tonight 1,000 miles to the north and east. Torrential rains soaking portions of the Midwest, stranding residents, flooding highways, and causing a dam to fail. In the east, deadly triple-digit heat and tropical humidity, making this one of the worst days in a summer of record-breaking temperatures. We have 2 reports on the extreme weather. We start off with ABC's Eric Hong, who is outside of Chicago in Westchester, Illinois. All right, Stephanie Tsai, thank you. And as we said, the weather in the Gulf is much better than forecast. A rare bit of good news in that battle to seal the crippled well. Tropical Storm Bonnie was a bust. And so tonight, ships are returning to work at the spill site. And Matt Gutman is back along the Gulf tonight. Matt?
For the rest of the hurricane season. Sharyn?
All right, thanks. Matt Gutman along the Gulf tonight. We turn next to Afghanistan, where it has been a tough day for U.S. forces. 5 U.S. troops were killed in separate bombings in the south, bringing the U.S. death toll for July to 56. And there is a massive air and ground search tonight for 2 U.S. Navy personnel who disappeared in a dangerous area of eastern Afghanistan. Our Nick Schifrin is in Kabul tonight. Nick?
Sharyn?
Nick Schifrin in Kabul tonight. Thank you, Nick. In Germany, at least 17 people were killed when a stampede broke out at a music festival. The victims were crushed when police tried to block access to the event because of overcrowding. People in a tunnel leading to that festival panicked. There is an ominous threat of force from North Korea tonight if the U.S. and South Korea hold war games as planned tomorrow. North Korea has made these kind of threats before, but this one is causing more anxiety. Here's David Curley. We turn next to politics and a new battle breaking out in Washington. This one over tax cuts enacted under former President George W. Bush. President Obama wants to let the tax cuts expire at the end of the year for individuals earning more than $200,000 and for couples earning more than $250,000. Republicans are fighting back, and so we bring in Jake Tapper, host of ABC's This Week. Jake, you spoke to Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner about these cuts.
Sure.
All right, thanks, Jake. And you can see Jake's full interview with the Treasury Secretary and, of course, the weekly roundtable tomorrow morning on This Week. Still ahead on World News this Saturday, protests and arrests as school busing program is canceled. Is this another step in the resegregation of America's schools? General Stanley McChrystal says goodbye. We hear from the former commander of the war in Afghanistan for the first time since his stunning fall from grace. And the incredible reach of social media. Facebook helping us make sense of the mundane and the momentous. School busing is once again a national flashpoint. A North Carolina school board is ending what is considered one of the nation's model busing programs. But is that a sign of progress or a step backwards? Here's Yunji Denise.
What do we want? Justice!
When we come back, saying goodbye to General Stanley McChrystal, the ousted Army general's surprising and funny take on his career, his wife, and that Rolling Stone article.
I spent a career with...
We have some amazing video to show you tonight. Take a look at this. A Canadian Air Force jet crashed in a spectacular fireball during an air show training run. The pilot ejected moments before his C-18 Hornet smacked into the ground and exploded. He was dragged unconscious for several hundred feet, but is amazingly okay. Eyewitnesses say one engine seemed to malfunction. General Stanley McChrystal has made his first public comments since he was forced to resign in the wake of the controversial Rolling Stone magazine profile. The occasion, a ceremony to mark his retirement, and at the end of an otherwise brilliant military career. Wearing his combat uniform for the last time, General McChrystal received full military honors, an Army marching band, a 17-gun salute. He said he was there to celebrate his life in the Army and did so with candor, even humor, about how it all came to an end.
But to those here tonight who feel the need to contradict my memories with the truth, remember I was there too. I have stories on all of you, photos on many, and I know a Rolling Stone reporter.
Soldiers attending the ceremony were allowed to forego formal dress uniforms in lieu of combat fatigues, a tribute to a war commander who spent 3 decades on the front lines before his stunning fall from grace.
Look, this has the potential to be an awkward or even a sad occasion. With my resignation, I left a mission I feel strongly about.
McChrystal said he was approaching the future with hope, not sadness, and spent much of his speech praising his wife of 33 years, Annie.
She's here, like she's always been there when it mattered.
And McChrystal joked about moving back in with his wife after spending so many years deployed. He said his attempts to convince her to follow his famous daily routine of only 1 meal a day and morning physical training have failed. He asked the Secretary of Defense to send some troops to help him on the home front. And still ahead, the media revolution that has changed the way we live our lives. But are we oversharing? And finally, people around the world have been turning video cameras on themselves today, part of an unprecedented undertaking. The video will be posted on YouTube, and the best clips will be used for a feature-length film called Life in a Day, which aims to document one entire day on the planet. It's just one more example of social media connecting people in new and novel ways. It is the way we share our lives, from those momentous events
She got up kind of balanced and took her first steps in the park
to the mundane.
I think I need to hit up the self-help section of Barnes & Noble, ... like soon. That was obviously after one of my breakups.
Replacing the mall as a place for teenagers to gather.
With a world without Facebook, I think I would die.
Those profile pages, the modern-day equivalent of paging through someone's record collection for clues about who they really are.
People always post like their favorite kinds of music, and if they post bad music, I think less of them.
It has single-handedly redefined what a friend is and introduced us to the term defriend. Sometimes we write what's too hard to say.
My sister-in-law lost her battle with leukemia this morning. She was only 45. It's almost like journaling. It helps you cope.
Private moments shared, both big and small. Moments that boost morale for those so far away from home.
For those few minutes that you get to communicate with your family, to let them know what happened during the day and that you're okay, and in turn to find out what's going on back in the United States, it gives you a peace of mind.
But it hasn't just helped connect families, it's helped build them.
This is our son Theodore, who we found placed through adoption on Facebook.
The results, nothing short of cinematic.
I said, well, of course I remember him. He's the first boy I kissed. It just became some kind of little miracle for me.
Brought us together, dear.
Yep.
Brought us together.
And that is World News for this Saturday. I'm Sharyn Alfonsi. Good night.